Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. Today's video subject: why are there scabs on my cat's head and body? Before we begin, let's first take a look at today's topic overview. Scabs on a cat's skin are usually due to miliary dermatitis. This skin condition can develop due to allergies, parasites, fungal or bacterial infections, and overly dry skin. When sharp, unsheathed claws are used to remove an itch, they may break the cat's vulnerable skin, so scabs inevitably follow as the wounds heal. If you've ever personally dealt with a scab, you likely know how uncomfortable it can be. And this uncomfortable state can lead to all but constant itching. Frequent scratching can lead to the peeling and full removal of the scab, and this can invite bacteria. It's certainly a very unpleasant process. Leave the scab alone, they say. The wound won't heal if you mess with it, they say. Of course, we all know, especially as children, that is much easier said than done. And that leads us to cats scratching away at those scabs with their sharp claws, inviting bacteria. Although that part of the equation is rather easy to understand, how do felines arrive at such a state? Where do the scabs originate? It's a misconception that most scabs are the result of some type of physical altercation. While cats do fight, of course, mainly over territory, it's rare that one cat will wind up covered in wounds and scabs later on down the line. In the vast majority of cases, scabs originate from what is known as feline miliary dermatitis, spotty and flaky patches on the skin that can prove to be quite uncomfortable. Frequent scratching can result in open wounds and later scabbing over the affected areas. This subsection is the very heart of today's material, a list of notable causes and reasons for an outbreak. And while some cats can develop dermatitis with no clear explanation, in most cases there is a core reason for such spotty, flaky, and dry skin and the development of scabs. Before we explore several causes, it must be stated that some feline breeds are more likely to experience skin issues compared to others. This includes the Devon Rex, Abyssinian, and domestic mixed breeds. Let's first start things off with allergies. They are the most common explanation for scabs on a cat's skin. Symptoms they can include, but are not limited to, constant scratching, the presence of hives and hot spots on a cat's skin, sneezing and coughing, streaming or liquid from the eyes and the nose, trouble breathing, and vomiting and diarrhea. With respect to the formation of scabs, frequent scratching is to blame. The dry and flaky skin, often caused by some form of an allergic reaction, is soon replaced by an open wound due to the scratching of the area. As the wound heals, the scab will form. It's not uncommon in cats that are truly suffering to see the development of numerous scabs across the entire body. Once this transpires, it's really all about getting down to the bottom of things. If an allergy is to blame, then it needs to be identified as soon as possible. And unfortunately, so much of the allergy assessment is achieved through a trial and error process. It's all about removing your cat from the negative exposure. Of course, the first step is indeed finding it. With respect to said exposure, your cat could be suffering from any of the following allergies: a food allergy, reaction to insect stings or bites; plastic, primarily your pet's food and or water bowl; fabrics and household products. This could involve cushions, blankets, fragrances, fabric softener; and environmental allergies. If your cat loves to roam outside, your pet could be having a reaction to the great outdoors. The grass, seasonal allergies. You'll notice that many of the concerns we've noted aren't too different from the allergies many of us suffer from. Now let's shift our attention to parasites. While it can be a bit uncomfortable to think that something could be eating away your pet and causing this level of irritation and manipulation of the skin, every pet owner should know the importance of being proactive in this department. If you've owned your cat long enough, you're likely well aware of the proper treatments and proactive measures. With respect to parasites and the presence of scabs, we offer the following: fleas, mites, and ticks. Although everything that was just noted is indeed a household name, this is yet another reason why routine vet checkups are indeed so critical. Many of these issues related to parasites can be, in some ways, non-issues if the threat itself is being treated in a proactive manner. Next, we have bacterial or fungal infections. In some instances, the existence of scabs and uncomfortable skin can be the result of bacteria or some sort of fungal infection. This is especially true in cats that stay outdoors for long periods of time. Some of the notable issues can include feline acne, commonly seen on a cat's skin. This is not unlike the acne you potentially dealt with as a teenager. Feline acne is typically hormonal in nature, but it could also be a sign of a bacterial infection triggered by an outside source. Next, we have, and this is not comfortable to say, but pus pockets, pyoderma, and abscesses. Excessive bacteria is often the cause of the former, while the latter is in most cases due to some type of puncture wound, often a bite from another animal. If the pus is clearly visible, it can be drained by a vet. Antibiotics can be given to eradicate the infection. Next, we have, and I'll try to pronounce this correctly, Pemphigus foliaceus, which is a rare autoimmune disease. It can cause a feline's immune system to kill all bacteria in the body, thus leaving the skin crusty and scab riddled. However, thanks to professional treatment, complete remission can occur within 2 months. And finally, in this section, we have the highly contagious fungal infection known as ringworm. The primary symptom is a circular dry patch, or circular dry patches, I should say, on the skin. Prescription shampoos and creams are often used to treat ringworm. And the final section that we'll discuss today deals with the somewhat general topic. I say that loosely, of course, the general topic of dry skin. Scabs don't always have to be the byproduct of an altercation, an allergic reaction, a parasite, or some type of bacterial or fungal infection. Your cat's skin could become just simply delicate and scabbed due to a lack of moisture in the air, unbalanced diet that's void of key nutrients that your cat needs, excessive exposure to the sun or excessive time in the sun, the wrong shampoo when bathing, lack of grooming due to arthritis and or obesity, or excessive grooming that can be caused by stress triggers within your cat's environment. And finally, dry skin can be caused by dehydration. Indoor cats often struggle with dry skin during those harsh winter months. If you are following along on YouTube and watching our videos in order of our post, the order in which we post the vids, we just added a feature dedicated to dry skin, so please check that video out if you haven't already. It really all comes down to prevention, and if scabs do exist, proper treatment, primarily the soothing aspect and the healing aspect, because not all scabs can be treated without knowing the core root cause. Your prime objective is to make your cat as comfortable as possible. With respect to prevention, always check your cat's skin if you notice frequent scratching, and make a mindful note of potential triggers. Many of the things we've mentioned here today are those triggers. Never hesitate in making that call to your vet if your cat continues to scratch constantly. Take care of the situation before it becomes a major concern and likely a source of misery for your feline. I mean, we don't really need to say it, but being covered in scabs doesn't exactly sound like a walk in the park. Always answer the call, answer the bell when it comes to your cat's health and wellness, especially if you feel that a problem is indeed brewing. And we mentioned just briefly, just a second ago, the important aspect of soothing those scabs. If your cat has numerous scabs, the first measure should be to avoid all products designed for your very own skin. No human products. Off the table, 100% off limits. Now, your local pet store will have a wide range of creams designed for feline skin issues. While this will not address the primary concern, proper medication will serve to reduce inflammation and itching, thus allowing your pet to have a positive level of comfort. And in the short term, that's what it's really all about. The total objective in this case is to decrease the odds of additional scabbing. Attempt to put a lid on things, so to speak, until a full diagnosis has been made and professional treatment can be administered. If you would like more information concerning today's subject matter, please click the initial link in the description box below and join us at SeniorCatWellness.com. And once again, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if this type of content is of interest to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.